Howdy do, Chimichukma, this is Chief Steve coming at y'all with another episode of True Story. We got a really interesting one for you guys today, but before we get into it, make sure you guys like and hype this video up, comment in the comment section, get really interactive. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell as well. So whenever I drop these bombs, you'll be the first ones to grab them. Now, without further ado, let's get into it.
Reverend Jesse Jackson died today. If y'all don't know, I just talked about this man. My grandma grew up on the same street as Jesse Jackson. And this man is a Cherokee Indian, but he claimed to be African American. So he is somebody who had just as much of an impact on whooping the Indigenous Americans and duping us off our land. They say he's Chicago and all this, but he from South Carolina. You feel me? Where my folks from. Now, this is my grandma when she was younger with Jesse Jackson. You feel me? This is my grandma in later years with Jesse Jackson. This is like recently, you know? But he's transcended now. And I just chopped it up with my grandma. I asked her to send me these pics a few days ago, and it's crazy that bruh passed, right? We been indigenous on the land. You feel me? And these terms and these coined terms that they gave to us, we've been reclassified so many times. Black people reclassifications in the U.S. since 1790. Now, look at this. Free person of color, colored person, person of color, Indian, free people, Negro, Negro, colored, black, Afro-American, African-American, mulatto, grief, musti, mustifino, sambo, mestizo, criollo, quadroon, octoroon, octaron, sacan, high yellow, pardo, Marino, mulatto, sambo, castas, colored Indian, Negro Indian, black Indian, red bone. You feel me? Just keep going on and on and on and on. Shout out to Aboriginal B. And yeah, transcendence. I seen people was like celebrating it. I ain't on that. You feel me? But I am going to use this moment to break down more misnomers, bro. I bet you Jesse would have never thought grandbaby going to wake us up. Because I'm going to do it.
Ooh-wee! I ain't been this excited about a death since Queen Elizabeth, and let me tell you why. This man here, the Reverend Jesse Jackson, yeah, he a sellout to our people. Why, you ask? If you don't know, sit back, strap up, and let me tell you what the hell he done did. This man decided that my ancestors and people that look like me that came from this land do not need to claim their nationality, their inheritance, their land. He decided it would be best for us to be reclassified as African American. Yes, African American, that we came over from Africa on slave ships. Remember I posted yesterday that you only had one ship come over here? Yeah, it was to steal our inheritance. And it is not by chance that you died on Black History Month on the Chinese Lunar New Year at that.
So Jesse Jackson passed away today. I'll never forget how I was told by my grandmother that he smeared Martin Luther King Jr.'s blood on his shirt, and he was like underneath the balcony. He was under the balcony in the parking lot. He ran upstairs after Martin Luther King Jr. had already been shot, and he was shot, mind you, he was shot in the head, but like towards the lower part of his neck, and then it blew like part of his face off. And there was another person there, I forget his name, but he gave an account of how Jesse Jackson like ran downstairs, grabbed like his shirt, and like claimed that he was holding Martin Luther King Jr. when he died, which was a complete lie. He was downstairs, and then he ran back upstairs and smeared his blood on his shirt. Mind you, there was a whole informant dude that was like African or something that was there too, and that was an FBI informant. But rest in peace, I guess.
And y'all still don't think we got power. We said rest in peace to African American, and the guy who reclaimed us to be African American is now resting. I don't know if he's in peace, but he's gone. Good riddance. Goodbye, Jesse Jackson.
I know them nigga Indians is beating the shit out of Jesse Jackson in the spiritual realm right now. That nigga, he introduced that African American shit. Like, how you gonna side with the colonizer going against your Indian brothers and sisters and shit? Man, they over there beating his ass in the goddamn spiritual realm. Shout out to Jesse Jackson. You getting your just due right now, nigga.
So the word on the curb is that Jesse took his last breath and he went on to meet his maker. I saw some people going online laughing and joking and just being, really expressing how they're glad that he's no longer here. And he really put the world in a quagmire by calling us African Americans. He left, but the impact of the lie is still alive and well. And he didn't have the nerve to even correct it before he died. I don't call that good character. I don't feel any sympathy. I think that he had a lot of time to correct the record. Didn't. And should not be celebrated for anything other than being part of an agenda that helped put his own people down while he tried to benefit. But you know what? I don't think he probably benefit as much as we probably think he did. Sometimes people can seem like they have a lot and be suffering like a mudder scudder. No. The very thing he called you, us, African American, got families just in all kinds of tizzies of being in arguments about. Now they're categorized as a food. Historically, they used to use our people, American Indians, take our teeth out their mouth and put in the dentures like of George Washington. Take our hair and fill it as pillows to make them nice and soft and fluffy. Feed our children to alligators. Prisoners of war. Pretending we come from someplace other than here. He carried all that weight down to the grave. And some will say in the pits of hell. That's not for me to determine. The question is, how long would that lie continue to live? That we have to remain and see.
You want to know the deepest level of what Jesse Jackson did? Not the paperwork, not the renaming, not even the land loss, the spiritual crime. When he spent decades forcing African American on us, telling us we were from somewhere else, that our people arrived in chains, that our ancestors weren't even on this land. He wasn't just changing a label. He was trying to sever us from our actual transitioned ones. Because here's what they don't teach you. Your ancestors are connected to land, specific land. The land where their bones are buried. The land where they prayed, labored, bled, birthed, transitioned. When you tell a people they're from somewhere else, you disconnect them from the ground that holds their grandmother's remains. You turn sacred burial sites into slave cemeteries. You turn ancestral grounds into plantations. You turn the people who built this continent into foreigners in their own grave. That's not politics. That's spiritual warfare. Jesse Jackson didn't just confuse the living. He tried to make the transitioned ones unreachable. But here's what he forgot. The ancestors don't care what you call them. They know who they are. They know where they are. And they know which children came back to remember. That's why you're here speaking with me.
Alright, y'all. R.I.P. to the African American name, bro. Like, once that thing clicked in my head, like, I went to asking my mom, like, Mom, what Africans we got? And, like, what family members we got that's African? She was like, we ain't got none. So I'm like, well, why we going out for African American? Why we letting people tell us that we African and we don't have any Africans in our family? Y'all have to stop believing this slave ship story, bro. It never happened, bro. It wouldn't even make sense. Them folks came over here, saw it was already people here, left, came back with a bunch of other countries and a bunch of other soldiers, and came and conquered. The people that was already here, was already millions of people here when Christopher Columbus came here. He said it himself, they were copper-colored. We keep thinking that we black because black is something that the white man told us we were. We're not black. I'm brown. You're brown. So, with the name African American finally gone, with that spell finally over with and broken, we have to next break the spell of black, because we ain't black. Y'all got to stop that. There's no standing in law with black. There's no nationality called black. You can't get reparations calling yourself black. Just because you feel like, yeah, these people know that the so-called black people are the people that they done that to. No, legally it's not going to work. You have to know that you are the indigenous. You are the people here, unless you know you got Africans in your family, Jamaicans in your family, Haitians in your family or something. You know that. And you just trying to hide behind this LBA name. You see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of LBAs think that they only been here for 400 years, bro. No, that's cap. If y'all trying to stand out and be something else, stop still believing the white man's story. Stop still believing the white man's story. You haven't been here for 400 years. You've been here for over 4,000 years. Probably millions. We've been here on this land. We don't have any other, we can't go to no other country talking about this is what we going for the summer because this where grandma at. We only, our grandma and their grandmas are from this land. We never came from Africa. It's impossible that could even happen. Do the research for yourself. Stop listening to what these white people told you that they got some slave boats from Africa and brought some African slaves over here, man. Stop believing dumb shit.
Jesse Jackson just died, and nobody in the black community seems to give a fuck that much. It was some people that acted like they did, but for the most part, niggas, they know their history. We know what the fuck happened. We read the files and documentaries and all that shit. We knew that the nigga that didn't have on no tie was the nigga that did the backdoor shit, Jesse. Cedric Entertainer told us, Jesse Jackson. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I send my condolences and shit, but Get Back ain't got no date. According to Black history, you backdoor Dr. King. You got to answer for that. And I just feel like, personally, they killed Dr. King, Malcolm X, Huey Newton, Fred Hammond, and every motherfucker else. If you was not corrupt and you really was for the people, they would kill your black ass too. You wouldn't be dying in 2026. Just my opinion. But anyway, happy Black History Month.
Nope. I'm good on paying respects on this one. I'm good paying respects on this one because this man's responsible in selling us out to the United States government, and he's responsible for the title African American. I'm not paying respects to this one. I don't pay respects to dead sellouts. So, hey, if you ask me, you're sizzling. You're sizzling right now. And it's crazy that he turned around and tell the United States government that we African American while he claiming to be Cherokee. So like I said, you're sizzling. You can have this one. You can have this one. You paying your respects and you claiming you are Indian and you say, shit, still rest in peace, use a fool.
I mean, there was a time when we were colored, and then we became Negroes, and then we became Afro-Americans, and now most of us call ourselves African Americans. We use this term because it's the term that we heard the most when we were kids. And I think that our children will go from being African Americans to people of color, and once again they'll become colored people. Jesse Jackson felt that he had to have a press conference and declare publicly that our name was changed. People think that if we can change our names, we'll have a new identity.
Nope.
Jesse Jackson has passed away at the age of 84. May he rest. That man has always rubbed me wrong, even since I was a child. Every time I saw him, looking at him, something about him put a slightly fearful feeling in my soul as a child. And it wasn't until I got to college and I started being exposed to actual education and not the indoctrination bullshit that I realized my instincts have been correct about Jesse. That man was a problem. Let's start with the term African American, because if we're going to talk about Black history, what was it, 1980 something, when Jesse began to push for the use of the term to describe our people. Jesse, why we gotta be African American, but you get to be indigenous? Come to find out, they said that the reason why Jesse was pushing for the use of the term African American is because there were so many hyphenated ethnicities in the country. You know, you had the Italian Americans, the Irish Americans, all of the people from Europe who came over here got to hyphenate and just add American at the end. He was looking at us and saying, well, we came from Africa, which we know that's not fucking fact, Jesse. Because you're on the Dawes Rolls, Jesse. Why we couldn't stay on the Dawes Rolls? But I digress. Let's go back to the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Now, I don't hold the man in as high in reverence as everybody else, but I do believe at the time that he did serve a purpose for our people. And I think it's kind of strange that the day before he was assassinated, the photo that was taken, he's standing right beside him. But the day of, you were conveniently misplaced, Jesse. You were conveniently far away enough that if a bullet was to go askew, you would not catch a stray, Jesse. You also happened to leave the scene with a shit ton of blood on you and a conversation between you and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. that couldn't have possibly happened because you were not beside him, Jesse. So was African American, getting it officially in the rotation, was that the mountaintop that you claim Martin told you to take his people to? And I also find it strange that there's interviews that are emerging that say, you know, the night that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. passed, there was supposed to be a meeting. You weren't present, Jesse. You got up out of there, Jesse. You left Memphis, Jesse, and you went to Chicago. And then the next morning, you did an interview wearing that same shirt that you scooped up his blood and smeared on yourself, Jesse. I don't like to speak ill of those who have passed, so I'm just merely making observations. May he rest. And I pray that he made peace with the shit that he did before he left here. Because we all got to answer. You know, we all got to answer. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
So Jesse Jackson died in the month of Black History Month, which is not really Black History Month, it's Indigenous Month. Because all them motherfuckers, they show us, are indigenous to America. I'm just saying. And back to Jesse Jackson. Jesse Jackson was the one that told us not to claim our nationality. He did a lot of things. He did a lot of things for blacks, for African American. Like, he did a lot for those people. But that's not us. We were lied to. We were duped. We were duped. We were duped to believe that that's who we were. So he did a lot of work for shit that didn't matter really at the time. But now the truth has to be revealed of what's real and what's not. And it's not a coincidence that Jesse Jackson died in the month of the so-called Black and African American History Month. Spiritually speaking, because the African American is dead. Jesse Jackson claimed African American was a full-blown Cherokee. On paper. So he knew who the fuck he was. He was just telling us not to claim our shit. Just saying. I didn't know that about Jesse Jackson until I started doing my research on it. Damn. But here we are. The truth made manifest.
Say hi. Here, you want to shake his hand? Now he's being shy. KJ.
Hey y'all, real quick. Our last video got 67 likes. So do me a favor, be a star and like this video right now while we still got time. Well, the time has finally come to put the African American title to rest. It's been a long time coming. There's been a lot of talks about it, but now the signs are starting to align. Things are moving in, even in the celestial sense. Time is moving in accordance to our will and to the overall atmosphere of our collective consciousness. The death of Jesse Jackson is a significant one. One that some celebrate, but a lot of us, like myself, look at it as a milestone of such, a sign that what we are doing, the movement that we are taking, the direction that we're moving in, is all in accordance to the universal plan of regaining our collective consciousness and our collective identity, our true identity as Indigenous Copper-colored Amerindians, as the American Indians, the Aboriginal people of this land. And as it was stated, we always knew who we were, but it was the backdooring, the backstabbing, the traitorous actions of a chosen few by this system that created this agenda to keep our people in a state of confusion, in a state of suppression and oppression, that allowed for us to be put into such a dormant and docile state as far as recognizing our true power. They knew as long as they can misplace us and mislabel us, that we could not truly walk in our power. But despite all of these mislabelings, despite all of these misnomers, and forgive me, y'all probably gonna hear me sneezing and, sniveling and stuff. I'm not really sick, but, the climate is changing. We're going into the new year now. We're getting out of the winter and into the spring. So y'all bear with me. Try not to be too loud in here, but with all that, they know, despite all of that, we have still come to where we are now, and we're still moving in the direction that we're moving, which is, like I said, regaining our consciousness as a collective, reproclamating our true identity. All right. So for a lot of people, even including myself, this death is not a sad thing. You know, the passing of Jesse Jackson, and condolences to the family, you know, and those who truly looked up to him, because despite all of the confusion and stuff, he was very influential and he had a huge, significant role within our people's, you know, progression, I guess you could say. But at the same time, we ain't got time for that. It's over, it's done with. You know, that little bit of progression that he helped was literally just a tease to the true agenda that he was really pushing behind closed doors and that he had made prominent in the 80s. So all of the things that, you know, they said, all of the positive things that he's impacted and put, all of that stuff doesn't mean anything to a lot of us because of the initial traitorous actions that were committed long ago in his earlier years. And for those who were aware of it and taught their descendants of these things, there is no remorse. There is no condolence. There is no sympathy or empathy given or shown towards him. And for those just coming into this knowledge, I can understand how, you know, if you were a Jesse Jackson, I wouldn't say fanatic, or what would you say, a follower or a proponent. I'm not sure what you would call it. If you were a advocate of Jesse Jackson and you're just now coming into this truth, the truth, and recognizing, acknowledging the traitorous things that he has done to our people, then I can understand how this is a confusing time for you. But just know that we are here. We are still here. We know who we are, and we're here to help and guide you. As long as you are not on, you know, playing the double agent or playing the opposite side, or being, or even on the fence, you know, because it's getting to a time where those who are on the fence, who's in the middle, oh, it can go this way, it can go that way. There's too much information out here right now. Too many documents, too many files, too many now visual documents. That's happening. It's too much going on now. And so you need to recognize and realize that we are in a time of revelation. Everything that was in the dark is now starting to be revealed. And so not only that, but as things are being revealed, and as we, as the indigenous people of this land, the movers and the shakers, the originators, as we continue to awaken and move accordingly to the will of the collective conscious, the atmosphere is moving along with us. Everything and everyone who is against this truth will be moved out the way, effectively and expeditiously, in the words of T.I. So you need to pick a side. Are you with us? Are you with your people? Or are you against your people? Because this double agent stuff does not last. And like as somebody said, you see him in, you used to see Jesse Jackson in prominent positions of power, you know, in the forefront of things. And you would think, oh, that brother's got it good. Oh, he's playing ball. He's playing for the agenda. He's sitting fat. But all behind closed doors, they could be suffering more than anybody else because of the weight of the deception, the weight of the lies, the deceit, everything that is being placed on them spiritually. it is having an impact. And now he is fully manifested into the spiritual realm, into the realm of the ancestors. And he does have an atonement to atone for. So, you know, I don't feel bad about what happened, because as I stated in the last video I made about him, all of these so-called leaders, you know, these false prophets, all of these agents that have done their part, done their work in implementing this master plan that the enemy had for us, they're about to fade out. They're fading out, whether it be by reputation or whether it be a physical fade out. And I don't wish any ill harm towards anybody. But the universe, the atmosphere, and the collective conscience and consciousness of our people put together as a powerful entity. And as it grows and as it continues to be acted upon, that entity will take its place and it will continue to move and make ways for all of us to finally recognize and realize the truth. Not just us, but those who are around us, those who are here in our surrounding area, those who have come from different places and those who are afar. The whole world will know who we truly are. And there is nothing or no one that can stop this truth from happening, from coming out, from being said and being told. So, with that all being said, may the African American label finally be put to rest. May the traitorous Jesse Jackson finally meet his maker, and may show, rather, let's just say, let judgment and atonement be passed effectively and righteously. All right. So, y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think about the passing, the transition of Jesse Jackson? What do you guys think about the climate of our people? And where do you think we're heading in the future? Y'all let me know in the comments. Till then, this is Chief Steve signing off. Tata Chista, cherish you all. Yokoki. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.